So hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to go ahead and talk to those new drivers out there who will be going on OTR training with your mentor. I want to give you guys some pointers and tell you a couple of things that you should know or you want to know before you go on OTR training, so that your life is easier, your training goes smoother, and avoid any conflicts or confrontations with your mentor. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Don't forget to like and comment down below. Give any suggestions to other drivers who read the comment section down below. Make this a positive environment. And if you're interested, keep on watching. So the first rule of thumb, the most important thing that we all know about, it's respect. Make sure that when you come into the new truck, make sure that you're respectful. Bring a positive energy. One thing that there's various ways of being respectful or disrespectful. You know, when you come into a truck, you're gonna be with somebody that you don't know, and he doesn't know you or she doesn't know you. So you have to be respectful and mindful of things you say that could offend the other person, or that might be seen misleading and stuff like that. You don't want to give the wrong impression right off the bat. Okay, that is very important. So respect off the top, right? One very important thing that it's worth mentioning is that communicate with your mentor before you come to his truck. Obviously, you're not going to know who he is or what things should I bring. Some mentors do a pretty good job on having a list of instructions and rules and list of things students should bring. There's some that don't. They just don't care and let the student just bring whatever they want to bring. But if you want to be on the safe side of the fence, ask your mentor, you know, what's okay for you to bring, so that, you know, like that you don't come here, bring all this stuff, and then he might tell you, like, you can't bring this, you can't bring that, da-da-da. Now you're like, well, you didn't say anything, you know. So ask, you know, how often are we gonna wash, or how often we're gonna shower, stuff like that, so you have like an idea. A good rule of thumb, I think, is bring clothes for at least 7 to 8 days. T-shirts, no bulky clothing. Bring, I would say, at least 2 pairs of shoes, you know, in case there's a rainy day, a muddy day, and bring sandals. Waterproof sandals would work. Make sure you bring something like that, because showers, unless you want to be showering barefooted on those showers that are nasty, or unless you want to like be on your shoes the entire time, then do that. But if you want to be like a little more comfortable, bring sandals, something, so that you're walking around, because at least I don't like my students to be walking around with their like dirty shoes in the truck. It gets dirty, it gets nasty. They put the ladder down so they could get on the bunk bed, but it's like, you know, things, it gets dirty, and then the truck is a small environment, small truck, so it's like there's not a lot of space. And if it's dirty, it's like we're 2 people in a small truck, so it's like, it just makes sense, you know, to not be walking around with dirty shoes and getting the ladder dirty and all that stuff, you know. So bring 2 pairs of shoes in case it rains, you know. I had an issue with my last student where she would be she would take her shoes off and she would be walking barefooted. At first, like, I didn't say anything, because I was just like, you know, I didn't want to make things weird or anything. And then sometimes when she was driving, she would take one of her shoes off, and I didn't say anything, because at first she said something about her feet was hurting or something, so I would think it's just like, oh, one-time thing. But it was not a one-time thing. She started doing it over and over again, and until then I didn't say anything, because the foot she was using to drive for the pedals and everything, she was, you know, she had her other shoe on, so I didn't say anything. When we started teaming and I would go to sleep, one day I wake up, all of a sudden, to drink water, I come into the driver's seat getting my cup of water, and I see her driving barefooted, and it became an issue, you know. And I had to call her out for it. She didn't like it. She wasn't happy. She's like, you're not my mom to be telling me what to do. I'm like, I'm not trying to be your mom, but you're not supposed to be driving barefooted. And if there's an emergency, if something happens and you're driving barefooted, it's like, It's just common sense. You're not supposed to, And plus, I give all my students, a mentee guide so that they have a good idea of how I work in my truck, the rules, and all here and there. So to me, it just showed that she didn't care. She was careless, and it was like, I had to tell her something about it because it became something redundant. I just couldn't let it slide anymore. But and then, so just be aware. If you don't bring work shoes, you're gonna be working in areas that are slippery, that are wet, that you're gonna be getting out of the truck in and out. If you bring any non-working shoes, you might slip, you might fall, you might break a leg, you might break something. So you have to be ready to go. Your outfit, simple normal t-shirts, simple leggings, simple pants, shorts. It's hot out here, stuff that's easy to carry on. So like I was saying, one thing that for real is like, it's very important, you have to keep in mind you're going on OTR training. You cannot go on your OTR training and not bring money with you. If you don't bring money and just think that because you're gonna get paid every week and you're not gonna bring money, please don't make that mistake. Bring at least $300 to $400 on you, just in case you need them. You never know what can happen on the road. Remember, you're gonna be with a person that you don't know, and you never know if things could go south. You don't know, God forbid. So you have to be prepared. Bring money. Food is expensive. Bring some snacks, bring some food that doesn't go bad, stuff like that. Make sure to ask your mentor how much you could bring, how many days worth of clothes you should bring. Simple questions like that. Another thing that is very important to keep in mind is that, like I said, you're coming into a truck that it's not yours, it's your mentor's. So you have to be extra respectful. For example, if your mentor's not telling you where you should put your shoes, where things should go, ask him, where can I put my shoes? Is this a good spot? Whatever's, if not, bring it to the top, have an area where you can put your dirty shoes, and, make sure you bring sandals too, so you're not walking inside the truck barefooted. You never know if your mentor might have fungus or something and he's walking barefooted. You don't want to catch anything weird. Or when you shower, you want to be showering barefooted. Those showers are not the cleanest, they're dirty, people spit, stuff. So you don't want to be walking barefooted. Just keep that in mind. Keep a clean environment. When you guys are not teaming yet, each one is going to occupy your bed. The mentor will sleep on the bottom bunk and the student sleeps on the top bunk, unless he says otherwise, but normally that's how it goes. If, for example, you guys are teaming, make sure you keep a clean environment up there, because throughout the day or throughout the night when my students are driving, I check up on them every 2 hours or so to make sure they're doing fine, they're on the right route and all of that. So when it's my turn to drive, sometimes I get a little sleepy, so I'll take a 1 hour, 2 hour nap. So I'll go to the top, and if the bed is dirty or you have a lot of shit just laying around, like it's not clean, it's not nice. You already have a small space, so you should always have a clean environment, especially when teaming, so that if the mentor needs to sleep and he doesn't want to wake you up and it's clean, he's gonna go up there. So always be clean, be mindful of things like that. If there's a lot of trash, try taking it out. Be clean. One thing, please, whenever your trainer is going over things like planning, like pre-trip information, truck information, load information, when you guys are going over stuff work related, when you're doing your backings, when you're doing your pre-trip, please, I know for some people it's just like almost like the end of the world. Don't be on your phone. If your mentor is explaining something to you, don't be texting, don't be calling, don't be the one person who's like, hold up, and my mentor explained, wait, hold up. That's not nice. That's not respectful. As a matter of fact, I consider that to be very disrespectful when one is teaching or trying to explain something to a student and all of a sudden he's like answering text messages or answering a call. It is not right, there's boundaries, you know. If somebody's teaching you, somebody's talking to you about work stuff, you should be focusing. You're the student, you're the one who's learning. The mentor, he already knows everything. You know, if he feels disrespected, he's not gonna be, for one, he's not gonna be happy with you. And if you're not paying attention to whatever he's explaining, don't be surprised if he stops explaining anything, like whatsoever. Because if you're not paying attention, he's just wasting energy, you know. And start letting your family know, hey, starting this day, I'm gonna go on OTR training with my mentor. I'm not gonna be on my phone very much. I might not answer calls or text messages because I'm on training. I'm gonna be driving, and I cannot be texting or talking, especially texting while driving, or in general on your phone, right? I shouldn't be distracted. So talk to your family and friends and loved ones. Tell them ahead of time so they know what's going on, you know, because that's the biggest issue I've seen. I've talked with other mentors, and they've said the same thing. Sometimes students don't get the hang of the fact that you're here. Yes, you're not a slave. You're not incarcerated. You're not like kidnapped or anything. Yes, you could use their phone if your day is over, if you're done for the day and you want to talk with somebody for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes or something. I don't feel like that's terrible. But there's students that are constantly on their phone, like they're not paying attention, their mind is not here. And it's like, really? Like, and it's not nice. Another thing that's very important is, for example, I've had this happen to me where I've had a student that came with family. He was having issues with his wife, his, you know, something, you know, fiance, I don't know, like, but he was having issues with her, and it's like he was bringing that bad energy here. He was constantly receiving phone calls and stuff like that, like, and I'm like, okay, you're coming to work, and if you have issues, you can't focus, you can't function well. Like, I would see his frustration, and at the end of the day, he had to leave the truck because he had to fix that issue. And the thing is that if you're coming on OTR training, most training is 4 weeks, right? If you're going for 4 weeks and you get a good mentor, and now you have an issue and you have to go home, get that fixed, your mentor's not going to wait for you. He's going to get a different student. That's it. And, you know, now you're going to have to figure it out, find another mentor, and hope that he's good or she's good. So, you know, like, you're the one who will miss out if you have to leave the truck, or if you're bringing bad energy and your mentor doesn't want to put up with it, he might just like let you go as well, you know. So you have to be mindful of things like that. Another thing is that try to avoid conversations like politics, religion, and personal conversations, you know, super personal conversations. Why? Because remember, your mentor is not your friend. He's there to instruct you and guide you. If after he's done mentoring you and you're good and you become a solo driver, you still want to keep up and touch up with him or her, whatever it may be, that's different. But when you guys are training, just know that every now and then he's gonna have to tell you, hey, you're doing this wrong. Hey, you're not supposed to be on your phone. Hey, you're supposed to be doing your pre-trip planning. Hey, did you check on the load? Hey, did you read the message? He's gonna your mentor will have to be telling you stuff. He will have to be telling you what to do, certain stuff. He's gonna have to guide you because he's your mentor, you know. So he, in a way, he cannot be like, he can't really be your friend, like, right off. No. And don't get that confused. If you get a nice mentor where he's giving you all the feedback, all the information you need, make sure you don't take it for granted. Make sure you're taking notes on important things that you're supposed to take notes on, like how to slide the tandems. Make sure you pay attention to that, take notes, so that you could refer back to them whenever you have to do it, because you're going to do it over and over again, and you have to perfect that task, because you have to know how to slide the fifth, your tandems and the fifth wheel as well. You also have to know how to check your brakes. You have to learn how to like do your minute brake test. So there's a lot of things that you have to learn and that you might forget about, and your mentor might tell you, but you're just gonna forget because there's a lot of things coming back to back. So having a notebook and a pen to write things down so you don't forget, it's very handy. And you know, if your mentor's taking the time to teach you stuff, sometimes, you know, depending on who you get as your mentor, he might be very like nice, very good at explaining things and take his time at everything. There's mentors that, nope, they're not like that, you know. Unfortunately, there's all sorts of people out here, you know. Some mentors do it for the money. Some mentors do it because they really want to teach. Some mentors really want to teach their students. There's some that they don't really want to teach the students. Like, for example, when I decided to become a mentor, I did it because I was starting to feel lonely in my truck. I have been driving with Swift for like 2 years straight. So I've been like going for home time like every 6 weeks. So that's a lot of time by myself, you know. And sometimes it does get lonely on the road. And it does get lonely. So I'm like, I have my niece, my nephew that I was thinking to bring on training, but they're half the time in school and all of that. So I was like, what else? So, and I was like I've been with Swift for 2 years. Like I qualified, but I was kind of like on the fence because I know it's a big responsibility. So then I made a decision, become a mentor and all of that. And then like, you know, I've been doing it, but I've had different scenarios, you know, sometimes. So all my students have been kind of around my age. So we haven't had any issues on that. But like sometimes it does get hard, you know, training when there's students that come and they think they could do whatever they want, or they come in a disrespectful way, or, you know, they sometimes, like, one thing you have to keep in mind is that this is a hard job. It's not easy. You're not coming to a vacation. You might be lucky to get a nice mentor. You might get a difficult mentor, but if you can't keep things respectful, like, you know, simple as not using your phone as much, you know, paying attention, taking notes, writing things down, seem interested in, you know, working and all of that, you know, it's very important. And there's my truck. So when you go to your OTR training, be ready to learn, be ready to train, come ready. Don't bring your outside. If you have any issues at home, fix those first, then come for your OTR training so that you're comfortable. You're gonna be out for 4 weeks. Your training will have its good days. It's gonna have their bad days, hard days, and you're gonna have to be ready for them, you know. And if you already bring on home issues and stuff like that, you're not gonna be comfortable. You're gonna wanna go home. And if, let's say, you're on the East Coast, good luck getting back to California or wherever you may be from. When it comes to driving, you guys, you have to be very careful, because remember, yes, if your mentor is responsible for you while you're training, but you're also responsible for your OTR, for your training process. Because remember, one of the reasons they don't take drivers under 21 is because it's a big responsibility. You're hauling freight. Which means that if something goes wrong, an accident, a minor distraction, anything, you might lose your CDL and so on and so forth. So you don't want to put yourself in a bad situation, and you want to do things right. Check your speed limit, check your signs, you know, work hard, and your training, by the time you realize it, it's going to be over. Do as many backings as possible. Pay attention when your trainer is explaining stuff to you so that you can learn your backing. Backing is a skill, and it doesn't come from one day, you know, of backings. No, you have to work real hard and pay attention to develop those backing skills. It's not easy, but it's totally doable. So make sure you guys pay attention, keep those things in mind, you know, and hopefully see you soon. And good luck with your training. Your communication is key. If you don't understand something, if you are confused about something, ask questions. It's always better to ask a question, you know, a dumb question, than not ask anything at all and then stay confused, you know. Make sure you follow the DOT regulations and all of that. Search them up, you know, on the DOT website and all of that, so that you're more knowledgeable when you come for your OTR training. Make sure you read the truck rules. Make sure you are on top of the game, you know. You're going to be a new student, but just because you're a new student doesn't mean that you shouldn't know anything, you know. Be respectful, be mindful of things, be careful of the things you say. Don't overpack. Pack what's right. Keep in mind that weather can change depending on where you go. So you might want to bring at least one sweater just to be on the safe side, although it's very hot. Like right now it's on the 90s right here in Ontario, Oregon, which is pretty hot, but you want to be very prepared. Still getting loaded. So let's see you soon. Let me know how your training goes, and don't forget, get ready, start packing, and good luck with your training, and see you on my next video. Peace. Bye.